And the lineup for the second race of the night for the Classics now comes together, with Dave Murphy again on pole position, car 419. He's the family guy, and if you're thinking as to why that is, it's certainly not because he looks rather rotund with bespectacles, but because he's emblazoned with motifs and tattoos that show that he loves his wife and family, and that's why Dave's the family guy in classic hot rods. And behind them we have the Norfolk boy at 72, Gary Goodson, who had a very solid fourth place in heat number 1. The good guy, that's 31, Steve Gooding, alongside him, and fortune wasn't on his side in the first race. We get underway with the warm-up laps. We are missing 721 Steve Kite from the lineup because he received damage in that first race due to an errant piece of contact between himself and Gary Goodswin, which caused Steve to hit the curb and spin right the way around. Fortunately, no damage significant to the bodywork, but he damaged one of his pricey shock abs, and as a result, with the shock absorber being bent and won't give at all, Steve has had to call it a night because the car, without being able to work properly, is certainly not one for the track. So he's had to retire. We can see some of the other drivers lining up. 198 Andy Donut Stewart, who won the first race out of the box, so to speak, but having trouble with the starter motor on that car, and you can see that he's keeping the revs up to ensure that that red, silver and white machine keeps firing on all 4 cylinders. Now 44, Cara Boyd, came 10th in heat number 1, but complained from a lack of brakes in the first race and nearly frightened herself to death by nearly running up the back of her brother Craig in car 45. But we're on this the roller, and 419 Dave Murphy will be bringing them round. As you can see, he's now following the start car, and we will be dropping the green in just a few seconds time on this second race of the night here at Northampton Stadium. So away we go. Green flag drops. Dave Murphy leads them through, ahead of Gary Godswin and Steve Gooding. Cara Boyd in the back in her Wolseley. Beautiful car, painted exactly to period, stunning colours and sign work. We have a car up the fence, and that is Harry Stewart. Missed the incident that caused him to go there. The race continues with Dave Murphy leading. Dave Murphy now being challenged by Gary Goodswin in 72. And likewise Steve Gooding under pressure from 101 John Baring. Baring now electing the outside line as they go past the stricken 911 car of Harry Stewart. And it's remarkable that in the weeks running up to this meeting, some predictions flew about as to how Harry would go tonight. And one of those predictions was from Ant Ward Neals. And Ant confidently stated that Harry would not finish heat number 2. That's a bit freaky because that's exactly what happened. So as that conversation concludes, we can see that up front, 924 Stuart Wright on his limited budget, and the fact that he makes his tyres last impossibly long, is flying through the pack and getting every ounce of power out of the money that he puts into that machine. He does indeed race on a budget, and it's great to see how Stewart does so well in car 924. He truly is the right stuff. Jonah Baring under pressure from 198 Andy Stewart, and Stewart goes through. He's not made the inroads into this race quite as quickly as he did do in heat number 1, but nevertheless his charge towards the front continues. crisp night at Northampton Stadium. Further on up though, the battle is now on for the lead. Indeed that is for second place there. We can see that Stuart Wright is charging hard on the inside of 419 Dave Murphy. But he hasn't got time to hang around because here comes 198 Andy Stewart. Dave Murphy wisely going wide on turn 2. And Stuart Wright there under pressure now from Andy Stewart as we move towards the latter half of the race. The lead driver coming through, 72, Gary Godswin, charging his way to a victory which I'm sure he'll enjoy, as we have Glamour Girl and a Promotional Girl, Molly Dutton here with us supporting Classic Hot Rods tonight, and Molly will be there at the presentation and just to add a little bit more sparkle to the proceedings here in this racing of the Classic Hot Rods. Boards are out and a big lead now for Gary Godswin, and one which I think that even Andy Stewart can't even reel in. We're on this, the final lap. Charlie Shembry going through picture. Carl Jones. Checker flag aloft, and there it is for 72 Gary Godswin, winning from 198 Andy Stewart, 924 Stuart Wright, 419 Dave Murphy, 101 John Bowring, and 445 Graham Boyd, 121 Charlie Shembry, and number 4 Carl Jones. So another race where the drivers got quite well spread out. A good battle put in by Stuart Wright, and really did box above his weight really in that race, and showed how much more he managed to get out of that car, achieving that excellent third place. Andy Stewart in the second, but the winner. And it's nice to see somebody else getting the victory, but even though Andy deserves every one that he gets, but 72 Gary Godswin, a clear winner in heat number 2. You can see that they're checking the tyres on that car. He'll be making his way across, and you can see that Molly is now made her way out onto the track. Checker flag with her, and Dave Kingston will be over to take the presentation photographs. So here's Gary out of the car. I think we're still waiting for Gary to get out in actual fact. Here he comes, the Norfolk boy himself, 72 Gary Godswin. An extremely chilly night, but I'm sure that having a photograph with Molly Dutton will certainly warm up proceedings for Gary, and an excellent win from the man with the all-red machine.